Yes, mu mawulire ge tulinawo oluvannyuma lw'okulayira okwa General Yoweri Kaguta Museveni ebibuuzo bingi nnyo bigenze maaso n'okubanga byebuuzibwa era nga bw'ogenda obbiwulira mu lutambi luno lw'engenda okubanga ate nkuwa wabula nkuleetedde ebigambo eby'omukyalo oyo amanyiddwa nga Lady Winnie Alison Amo ono nno nga yali mukyala wa Deputy Speaker wa Parliament omukulu amanyiddwa nga Jacob Lokori Oulanya Deputy Speaker ate nga yaliko sipiika omujjuvu. Jacob Oulanya yasooka kubeera Deputy Speaker okumalira ddala emyaka gy'alinga 10 wansi wa Rebecca Kadaga wabula oluvannyuma najja n'abeera sipiika newankubadde nga mu kaseera katono nnyo ate yamaliriza afudde era bw'atyo n'aziikibwa Jacob Lokori Oulanya. Kakati omukyala we oba Namwandu we ono nga baafumbiriganwa mpeta mu mwaka gwali gwa 2023 era nga n'embaga eyo General Yoweri Kaguta Museveni yennyini yagiriko. Kakati omukyala ono ennaku zino alina ebigambo byagenda maaso n'okuba nga ayogera era ng'ategeeza eggwanga ku nsonga ez'enjawulo. Kakati ebimu ku ebyo bye nkuleetedde ogende maaso n'okuba nga obitegeera. Okulayira kw'omukulu akwogeddeko nnyo wabula mu bimu ku bibuuzo ebyebuuzibwa ye First Lady ali ludda wa era alabikiddeko wa era alabisa atya n'ebigambo ebigenda maaso n'okuba nga byogerebwa. Kakati bye nkuleetedde omukyala Lady Winnie Alison Amo agenda maaso n'okuba nga yeebuuza naye ng'aliko n'ebyama byagamba nti byabaleetedde mugende maaso n'okuba nga mubimanya ebigenda maaso by'oyinza okuba nga bitambulira oba by'oyinza okuba nga tobimanyi olw'ensonga nti bitambulira mu nsonda ezeesigiko b'ensonda enneekusifu. Kakati ye akugamba nti engeri gy'ali mu kapasite nti yalina oba nti Namwandu oba yaliko mukyala we yali speaker alina access ku information oba olyawo gwe kyoyinza okuba nga togenda kumanya. Kakati ebigambo bingi nnyo byayogera agamba nti General Yoweri Kaguta Museveni ebimu ku kutya kwalina mukadde kano ye Robert Kyagulanyi Ssentamu gwe abadde takimanyi.
Museveni knows that Kyagulanyi Ssentamu is who is God chosen to bring change in Uganda, and that is why he's fighting him tooth and nail. Every law is to fight Kyagulanyi. The stealing of elections is to fight Kyagulanyi. The poisoning of Anita Among is to fight Kyagulanyi. Did you guys know that Anita Among has been poisoned? And she knows? And she has been poisoned by a nerve agent?
Ekyo badde okimanyi bigambo bya mukyala amanyiddwa nga Lady Winnie Alison Amo ono nga yali mukyala wa Jacob Lokori Oulanya amannya go original ye Winnie Amo Alison Okot ono nno ng'ava mu district nga bwe nagikugambye ye Pader gyasibuka saidi eyo yaliko mukyala we yaliko Deputy Speaker okumala emyaka 10 ate era n'abeera speaker okumala emyaka egyo gyali mitonotono mu mwaka gwa 2022 Jacob Oulanya n'agenda maaso n'okuba nga afa. Jacob Oulanya yali speaker wa Parliament kitegeeza omukyala ono byayogera bituwaliriza okugenda maaso n'okuba nga tubireeta okubibawa mubeere nga nammwe mugenda maaso n'okuba nga mubimanya. Kakati story eno mpanvu era video eno mpanvu mukko njagala ogiwa obudde ng'omaze okuba ng'ogirayikinga ate ng'omaze ogisharinga oba olyawo n'okugenda mu comment section n'oteekayo obubaka bwo njagala mbikuwe byonna nga bwe yabyogedde ebitambulidde ku kulayira n'ebyo ebiyinza okuddako mu kaseera akatali keewala ng'omukulu amaze okuba ng'alayira. Kakati nno bye nakugambye byonna oba bye tuzze nga tukugamba omukyalo ono bingi byagenze maaso n'okuba ng'ayogerako. Kiki ekiyinza okwapeninga mu Uganda oluvannyuma lw'okulayira kwa General Yoweri Kaguta Museveni? Kkiriza tusooke tugyewo akalango kano then oluvannyuma lw'akalango ngenda kukomawo n'olutambi lulamba omukyalo ono ng'ayogera ebigambo byenjagala owulire.
Nga z'obufumbo olina omwami naye ng'akutawanya olina omukyala ng'akutawanya bajja ne bakwagalako ne bagenda gwe alina ebizibu mu byenfuna nga sente zikuyita mu ngalo wooteeka sente zifa bufi bowola tebazza gwe aloota ng'ogwa mu nnyanja gwe alumizibwa omutwe nga guganja okuwona naawe aloota ng'ebintu bikozesa ensonga z'obufumbo. Nina ekifo ku mugga awali amayinja wennyambulirako ebisiraani ekigwa ekifiiriza omudibo obutaganja obutaweebwa nzijanjaba abantu ab'enzikiriza zonna nsiŋŋaanibwa njeru ku lw'ejjinja gwanjagala kuba ku nnamba yange eyo naawe aliye wale nnyo yita ku WhatsApp.
Yes, webale kubanga okyaliko yonna gy'osinzira okubanga gy'otulabira atanaba kubanga osubscribe nga kikole tubeere nga tutambula ffenna. Omukyala Lady Winnie Alison Abo agenda maaso n'okubaako ebigambo byayogera byenjagala okubanga nkuwa naye ng'omukyala ono nkugambye waliwo ensonga lwaki bannayuganda beetaaga okuwulira era n'okumanya information gyagenda maaso n'okubanga awa olw'ensonga nti kimanyiddwa era kikakasiddwa nti engeri gye yali mukyala wa Deputy Speaker oba yaliko speaker ebigambo bye beetaaga olumu ogenda maaso n'okubanga biwulirizibwa. Kakati njagala owulire olutambi luno oluwulirize okuva wabitandise paka wanagenda maaso n'okuba nga abimaliriza era ebigambo byogenda okuwulira ku mukutu guno si bigambo bya mukutu guno yadde abaguddukanya bigambo by'abantu ssekinnoomu era nga bigambo bya mukyalo ono mukyala we yaliko sipiika wa Parliament eya Uganda ayogera ebigambo bino akuwa ne source yabyo era njagala obiwulirize oluvannyuma ngenda kujja tubeere nga tweyongerayo wuliriza information nga bw'oteeka comment yo mu comment section ate nga bw'osharinga video eno etuuke ku buli munnayuganda yenna naddala oyo akkiriza mu nkyukakyuka wulira.
My belief for Uganda is that we are right where we should be. We know that Museveni will not leave without a fight. We know that he must put up a fight because he knows exactly how powerful Kyagulanyi Ssentamu is. I have no doubt that despite everything that he's doing, that he's going to end up losing anyway. Museveni knows firsthand how powerful what Kyagulanyi Ssentamu is doing is. Museveni is the most fearful person in Uganda. Museveni knows that any time now, that change is coming. More than anyone, Museveni knows and feels the change that is boiling in Uganda. So do not despair. Even if he swears in, even if he goes to State House, even if he does whatever he does, Museveni knows that Uganda is ripe and ready for change. And he can't change that. He can't change that. He knows the power of Kyagulanyi Ssentamu being abroad. Because when Museveni came to Uganda, he came through the Western world. He came through the powers that be. Because Uganda as a nation exists in East Africa by geographical location. But there are people who make Uganda what it is. And where Kyagulanyi is in the head of where change happens for anywhere in East Africa or Africa. Kyagulanyi is right where he should be. And Uganda is right where it should be. Can you believe that since 1980, Museveni has influenced elections in Uganda, including making sure that the first president to be would not become. In 1980, Museveni was the first person to go and rig those elections. He went and rigged the election results to get Obote to win the election because it would be easier for Museveni to go and chop up Baganda in Luero than to have the other candidate win the election because he was a Muganda. Had a Muganda won an election at that time in 1980, Museveni would not be able to go and kill Baganda in Luero and take over and come to Obote and tell Obote that, you know what? And come to the Baganda and say, Obote is killing you guys. And make the Baganda believe that it's actually Obote who is killing Baganda. No. Museveni knew how weak Obote was because Museveni was in the Obote government and he knew exactly how to influence change. So had the Muganda won the election at that time, Museveni would not have made his path and trail by killing the people in Luero, taking over Luero, coming to save people in the morning after killing them in the night. So since 1980, Museveni has influenced and rigged elections to date. Today, Museveni wants to swear in this morning in Uganda because he knows that he has rigged this election. And since 1980, it has been Museveni. He rigged and get Obote to win. When Obote won, Museveni went into Luero to try to kill Baganda in Luero so that he could promise them that he is the savior coming to save the Baganda from Obote. From then, we knew that the Acholi people in particular realized and knew that, oh, the Baganda are bad people because of Museveni's script from the beginning. So, this is no strange area for Museveni. This is common. And he thinks he's living history. He thinks he's making more threads. But we have figured him out, and it's not business as usual. The fact that since he came into power, he has tried to advance how he does things. When he came in, he was sworn in at the steps of Parliament Today he has 350,000 drones flying in the air, trying to present a picture of him to make him look like he is a powerful man. But Museveni's times are gone. I would say do not despair. I would say Uganda is right where it should be in the revolution. Right there. Right there. Museveni would never check out a different way. This is how Museveni will check out. They say even a murderer cries for his life to be spared. That is Museveni for you. So think about Joseph. Think about the dreams that were put in Joseph. Think about him saying, you know, I was told by God that I will be king. That's what Joseph told his father. That's what Joseph told his brothers. And his brothers said, you know what? Let us get rid of this guy very, very quickly before he thinks that he can become king or whatever. They did everything they could. They threw Joseph in a hole. They dug a hole and threw Joseph in it. They later on sold Joseph as a slave somewhere. But for sure, when Joseph went to meet his destiny, to become king, he did. And so we must know that there are steps, however painful, however hard, however difficult, however different, that we must go through to get to where we should be. All of us have gone through something where we thought this is the end of our life. This is the end. I can't come out of this today. But we made it, and we made it even better at the end on the other side. So I want to encourage Ugandans that we are right where we should be. Right where we should be in this revolution, because Museveni knows more than all of us that it's time for change. And everything he's trying to do is not going to stick. Benedict, yes, he has fooled Ugandans for a very, very long time. Since 1980, Museveni has influenced elections in Uganda. Since 1980. As I mentioned, when Obote came into power, when he helped Obote win, he knew that Obote is a weakling. He knew his weaknesses because he was in his government. Had he had a Muganda win in 1980, Museveni would have no words to tell the Baganda about how bad Obote is. It would be very difficult for Museveni to convince the Baganda that he's the savior, which right now, as he plans a transition to give his son the next leadership, you hear a lot about PLU. Muhoozi is coming out and speaking about PLU, PLU, PLU. That is part of their transition plan. But it is forceful and will not take shape. It will not. So Uganda is right where it should be. I have a few security alerts that I could not go to bed tonight without letting you know. So I'm going to go through them so that we can be aware, take caution, and be... Yes, Ogwang James, you're right. Divide and rule, he says. That's what Museveni has always used. It's the same thing. You know, when Acholi people speak to you, and I still have a hard time convincing some people from Acholi land, because all they have in their mind most of the time is that, but Kyagulanyi is a Muganda, but he's a Muganda, but the Baganda did this to Acholi people, but the Baganda did this. So that thing that Museveni put in the minds of the Baganda when he came to power, when he came to Luero and killed people in the night, then came in the daytime to cry with them, he went ahead and told the Baganda that those Bacholi are killing you, okay? The Obote people, he called them the Bacholi. Eventually they called them the Bachope. They are the ones who come and kill Baganda. So when the Baganda got that message, they would say things back and call the Bacholi certain names. That is why there's still a divide. It's starting to blur and clear, but it's still there where the Acholi people think, oh, the Baganda, that person is a Muganda. Even the guys, the soldiers who were sent to kill Acholi during the LRA war, they spoke Luganda, or they spoke like Runyankole, a language which was a Bantu. And it's difficult for Acholi people to say which is which. It's Munyankole, Munyaran, whatever. So because of the language and because of the script of Museveni putting Acholi against the Baganda, it made those two have a divide. That even today, some of them will still refer to Kyagulanyi as a Muganda, and yet Museveni is from Rwanda. Even further, you know, he's a whole different nationality. Why don't we embrace our own Kyagulanyi, who is a child of Uganda, one of us? So, despite the fact that they're going to swear in, I would say do not despair, because it is time. It is where we should be. Uganda cannot be the same. Kyagulanyi came and changed everything. Many times we had thought, we had felt, we debated, but it took this guy from the ghetto to come up and say, you know what, this is the truth, I figured this out. And then all of us started to think, you know what, oh yeah, that makes sense, oh yeah, that makes sense. So collectively, we continue to endeavor to bring change in Uganda. In fact, when he does come to Kololo, he's going to present his child. Who has watched The Lion King? You see how Mufasa brings up Simba and presents Simba. That is exactly what Museveni is going to do. When you hear talk of PLU, PLU is in reference to a transition from Museveni to Muhoozi. So with that, a lot of Ugandans who are of Museveni's generation are going to die. They are going to be killed. All these elite brothers and sisters, I'm in the military, I'm so and so, Katumbo, Wamala, and all of them, all those people are going to slowly vanish because Muhoozi wants to have his new environment, his new group of people come into existence who will pledge allegiance to him and not his father. Okay, so this swearing in is essentially a presentation of Muhoozi as Simba in The Lion King. It's presenting the new generation. So those of you who still think it's Museveni, no, it is going to be a presentation of Muhoozi, an eventual transition. So here are the things I'd like to talk to you about that are pertaining to the swearing in and what they would like to do. Okay. So they're saying that in their discussion, this is a high security meeting with it's an online high security meeting where they're discussing the government, how it would be uninterrupted during this swearing in ceremony. Okay, so it's a high security meeting that was done online. Salim Saleh, Muhoozi, and all those people, the other Banyarwanda who are involved in the political transition of Uganda. Okay. They want to clear any threats from NUP, the youth, especially before the swearing in. They want to make sure that NUP members, if they can, they'll keep most of the members of parliament under house arrest. In fact, there was a gentleman of Mukono that I shared the other day that is already under house arrest. We don't know what the circumstances are, but eventually we will. But essentially, they're trying to say that there shouldn't be anything new interrupting the event that is being arranged for Museveni. Okay? They will abduct any NUP members who are supporters of Kyagulanyi's team. Any staunch supporters in the area are continuously still being abducted. All roads shall be blocked 30 to 50 kilometers from Kampala city. So tomorrow you will see that they will reduce a lot of traffic around Kampala. One of the other things is they want to turn off internet. So I don't know if it's not morning yet, but when it does get close to morning, there will be challenges with internet and all of that. They have also pre-reviewed a couple of videos where Museveni is with Janet together, because as I mentioned, Janet is not here. So they're trying to make sure Janet appears in those videos or appears somehow. So they're trying to create a circumstance where Museveni may have to dash out of Kololo quickly, and then they finish the rest of the event via video or Zoom, which then makes it possible for them to prop up, I don't know, a statue, one of those things that people put on clothes on and present. Maybe they'll use one of her kids, or they'll use an old video where Janet is to present both of them, because they did plan ahead and pre-recorded some videos together. But now that she's not here, he's afraid to look alone and have Ugandans question where Janet is. So something might happen at the event. They plan on some shooting, some snipers will cause chaos, and then Museveni will be whisked away to the State House to continue with the event with a doctored video where Janet will be present. Okay? They've also discussed some threats from the police. So recently you have seen a lot of details, conversation about the police have done this, police have done that. They're accusing them of doing all these things. But these are all pre-planned to try to cause some sort of instability or have a way of tying people into their homes. Lockdown, essentially. So all these threats by the police did this, police did that. There was something about a police who buried a Congolese witness or criminal. All of that confusion is because they want to let the police be on stand down, put away, so that SFCs take over police jobs. Museveni does not trust Ugandan military and police anymore. He wants to bring Rwanda's military, which all of them have already arrived. Wait for my list of people who have come to do certain things. So all of these crimes against police, this police, that eventually they're going to say, police, you people stay because you are too busy committing all kinds of crimes. Let us bring in new police. SFC will take over. As we know right now, the military, Ugandan-born military, have been set aside to go and stay in the barracks. They have no access to ammunition because Museveni is afraid that if they have access to those things, this is the time they could overthrow the government. Okay? And this time. So the other thing that they've decided to do is to eliminate 2 generals. They have not been mentioned yet, but they are in code. Somehow the discussion was made, but in code, not to be clear of which particular person while this information is being shared. Okay. All pilots who will be flying helicopters and drills and swearing in on the swearing in day are all foreigners. Do you see those helicopters in the air? All the pilots who are flying those helicopters for military, showing or whatever, all of them are from Egypt, Angola, and Rwanda. Okay? They're saying that after swearing in, all Ugandans should prepare for the worst. Okay? All Ugandans prepare for the worst after Museveni swearing in. He has 52 land titles which he cannot trace their locations. Therefore, he's going to break people's houses where his architects suspect that the land will be. All taxi, boda drivers in the city of Kampala are going to be eliminated. They are going to stop them as soon as Museveni swears in. They have gazetted a few boda stages only, and they are already full. They are only full of state agents. Usually when they've kicked out or sent away all these people from the area, like KCCA will say, people who are selling, mangoes or whatever, get out of the city. Eventually, there are some people who still come and show up and walk around and hang around. Those are the spies of Museveni. Those are the people who report every movement of everything within the city. So eventually, despite the fact that they're going to stop all of this, there's a few stages where they'll leave some bodas and taxis only to capture and share information, feed them information. In the meeting among resolutions, they've agreed to stop supply of fuel across Uganda for a full month. For a full month, there's not going to be a reliable supply of fuel in Uganda. The reason being to manage population. This particularly affects the elites who think when we talk or say things like this, that, and the other, it doesn't affect them. But how many of the poor who are struggling every day actually do drive vehicles? Not many. So I like that this is actually happening because all of us have to learn a lesson that these people are bad for all. When it rains, it pours on everyone, not just the poor, not just some people. So this will be a big lesson. They're trying to dry out fuel supply for 1 month. All idlers found in the city walking around because they want to dry out Kampala, they will be arrested for being idle and ignorant. So if you are unable to get a taxi because there's no fuel and the taxi people are not there, eventually people will start to walk. Okay? I used to know people who walked long distances to get from point A to B just for livelihood. Eventually, those people will get arrested. The goal is for these people to take over Uganda fair and square. Kampala is going to become Rwanda's heart of the city, not anything for Ugandans anymore. So they want to make sure that Kampala is clear for them to do whatever they want. So they also discussed a member of the United States coming, a dignitary of the US coming to attend the swearing-in ceremony. They did not really give a name at this time, but I saw today that there was an envoy that came from the US to the event. Any of these days, any shootings that have been, any killings that have been in Uganda have been because of Museveni. Because of Museveni. 5 million in Luero, because of Museveni. When he came in, he wanted to brand Obote a bad person. He killed Baganda in Luero and told the Baganda that it's Obote who is killing them. When he went to the Acholi and he said it's the LRA war, he was the one killing the Acholi people and telling the Acholi people that it's their own brother, the Kony, who is killing them. It is never Museveni's fault because he always has things planned out. So whatever happens in Kololo, first of all, he plans to turn off the internet. He plans to only have his media SFCs, his SFCs to capture the media. It is all Museveni's doings, start to finish. Good and bad is all going to happen on Museveni's accord, not anybody else. There is not a single Ugandan who is armed to fight Museveni at this point. None. None. Museveni is going to shoot at people himself. He's going to shoot at Ugandans because the reason he brought foreign militia is to make them come and kill Ugandans at his order. Because maybe if he used Ugandan soldiers, they would divert what they have to do and maybe do something else. So he wants his orders executed as per shooting at old generals and military people, the older people in civil service, the older policemen, the National Unity Platform members are also at risk at this event. Okay? All of them because of Museveni. Nobody else. No one else. No one else. Please remember that since Museveni came into Uganda, Museveni has been the perpetrator of all tiers of Ugandans. Even bad roads is Museveni. Poor education is Museveni. HIV, Museveni. He's all of that. Do not ever think Museveni is saving you. And now he wants to make Muhoozi come as a savior. Muhoozi, Museveni are all bad business for Uganda. Okay? They also want to seriously suppress the country by causing further arrests. Those, the sovereignty bill, I like to talk about that. It's not something that I must always speak about. But sometimes in the developments, they keep changing the goalpost. So with the sovereignty bill, apparently they're going to continue executing until their wish is fulfilled. And then at some point, they are going to arrange to have somebody go and sue and in disagreement, in grievance with the sovereignty bill. They're not going to do it now, okay? But they have it all arranged. Somebody will go and complain and file a suit against the sovereignty bill. Then eventually they will drop it because I understand they are worried that the sovereignty bill is going to affect the economy and Muhoozi is not going to manage an economy that is constantly draining or that is losing finances. Because right now Uganda is not getting as much aid as it used to get. So because of that, the sovereignty bill has, like I said, Museveni is never on your side. He lights the fire and then he comes to put it out as well. So he has lit the sovereignty bill. They are breaking people's this, that, and the other. Eventually he'll come to put it out, but the damage will have been uncontrollable. Uncontrollable. The purpose of the sovereignty bill is to keep His Excellency out, abroad, not to come back and stifle all of his activities for National Unity Platform in Uganda. But in the meantime, it is stifling general economy because they can't make a specific rule only for His Excellency. So how different, how deferred Museveni's generation is that he cannot beat Kyagulanyi Ssentamu. For instance, Today, Museveni paid for 350 drones to present his picture in the skies. A few minutes later, National Unity Platform IT geniuses went ahead and used AI and did even a more fabulous, detailed picture of Kyagulanyi Ssentamu. Imagine that. That shows you the disparity between Museveni, his generation, how he works, and the current generation. He cannot beat Kyagulanyi Ssentamu. Never. The guy is miles ahead. So Museveni can show you all of these tricks, but those are old dogs. Those are old tricks of an old dog, not Kyagulanyi Ssentamu. It's different. It's different. What Kyagulanyi is influencing by what he's doing is far different than what Museveni can try to do. He may be satisfied, but it's such a lag that if he had some honest people around him, it would have been better he goes to Tanzania or whatever, to his city, and retire. But in as much as he wants to try fighting this, he's going to die trying. I bet you. Museveni will die trying. But he's not going to win. He's not. Okay? During the ceremony at Kololo, several people have been planned to be eliminated. Several people have been planned to be eliminated. There's lots of poison being supplied all over the place. Last night I posted something about Tshisekedi, Felix Tshisekedi of Congo. I know that we can only speak. We can only warn you. We can only say certain things, but it's up to you. Okay? It's up to you. So, yes, Benedict, thank you. Thank you, Benedict. Thank you, Chitaka. There's a conversation going on between the two about 1980. But here's what I want to say. The people who are going to attend Museveni's ceremony tomorrow, several of them will go home and have an ailment. There's lots of poison for cancer, lots of poison for nerve weakness, or cause nerve, like ALS, cause nerve weakness. There's lots and lots of things that they're going to do to. Muhoozi wants to clear those old people. Muhoozi wants to clear those civil servants who have worked for his father. Muhoozi wants to reset Uganda at his pace with the people he wants to continue that country. So I honestly do, I pity these people who tie themselves on this government, thinking that because they're still on good graces, that they'll forever be on good graces. You guys need to wake up. The elites are the bigger problem of Uganda. The people who have studied and mastered Museveni are not one of those elites. When we speak like this, it is not because we are smart. No. We just take our time and see events, how they continuously happen. Like since 1980, similar events, similar atrocities, similar culprit, similar pretentious savior, and not really a savior. He really just comes to put a band-aid and then rips it off. So, same things that people have to realize to let Museveni go. I am saying that Muhoozi wants to reset Uganda to what he wants Uganda to be. Like you buy a new cell phone. You make your own presets to how you will use the phone. You will say, I want it to have English, British English, American English. You want it to have a certain color. You want it to have a screensaver. All those things Museveni is going to do to reset Uganda to a manageable country for him. And he's stupid. That means Uganda has to be taken aback. He wants to destroy Uganda so that poor and weak people are manageable for him. Because he's not an intelligent individual. That is his plan. All new offices are going to be raided by the military, both inside and outside. If Joseph was told his whole future and how he would become a king, he would say, you guys, no. I really don't want to go through all that much struggle. But God told Joseph, you are going to be a king someday. But God did not tell Joseph that you are going to be sold by your brothers. You're going to be taken away. You're going to be kept in a hole in the ground. You're going to go through a lot of suffering before you're going to go to prison. No. So faithfully, Joseph knew that when the time came, he would be somebody, but he didn't know how. I'm saying Uganda, we are right where we are supposed to be. Museveni knows that Kyagulanyi Ssentamu is who is God chosen to bring change in Uganda, and that is why he's fighting him tooth and nail. Every law is to fight Kyagulanyi. The stealing of elections is to fight Kyagulanyi. The poisoning of Anita Among is to fight Kyagulanyi. Did you guys know that Anita Among has been poisoned? And she knows? And she has been poisoned by a nerve agent? So, I know I shouldn't speak about it. It doesn't help us. It doesn't move anything. But Anita Among has been poisoned and she knows it. She has been advised to go to countries like North Korea, Russia, because she has also been sanctioned. So Anita is not welcome to a lot of the Western world. You know, America, the United Kingdom, she's not welcome to most of those countries. So the only places she can go to are communist countries where they have dictators like North Korea, some from Germany. But the good thing with her is that she has money. She's wealthy. So when she said Last Supper, yes, Benedict, I was just about to get to that. That most of these people think that when they work with the Musevenis, that they are one of them or part of them. Instead, they are fattening them up for the best kill. I said that a farmer who has pigs can only slaughter one when it's the fattest, because that's when it weighs the most. That's when it brings in the most value. So, Anita Among, good riddance. Many Ugandans have cried because of you. Karamoja, Kampala, Uganda, Northern Uganda. You know, you said those Baganda should not get numbers. I mean, when it comes to you, most Ugandans are just hands off. I'm saying this as a by the way, I didn't even have to. But I want Ugandans to know, those who are still working with them, that it's only a matter of time. When you're fat enough, they will put you out of breath. And they don't care. All those generals, Katumba Wamala, the Otemas, you know, he's my uncle, but I don't know. So they're still going to continue breaking people's houses. They plan to kill a lot of people, including military personnel. They're going to close a lot of headquarters of a lot of the National Unity Platform locations. Arrest all the leaders and supporters of National Unity Platform people. They are going to continue breaking the houses, and the goal of Museveni is to make sure Nup does not breathe in Uganda. Okay? Tshisekedi was warned yesterday not to come to Uganda, and he actually got the message, because Kagame and Museveni have sworn that Tshisekedi will not go back the same way he came. He was warned, he got the message, but he came anyway. Kagame is extremely upset about the Washington Accord, the deal that was signed between Tshisekedi, President Trump, and Kagame. After that, because Kagame did not obey the rules, Kagame's government has been sanctioned. Lots of the militia have been sanctioned. A lot of officers from Rwanda have been sanctioned. So that has pissed Kagame off. But to see that Tshisekedi has risked his life to come to Uganda is appalling. I shared a message last night to my people and my friends who are from Congo. I don't know if it didn't get to him. I know for a fact that he got a message from somebody else. So we wish him well. We can only do what we can do. Okay? Here are the plans of Muhoozi once he assumes power. So, I'm saying that these are the plans of Muhoozi after he assumes power. This is after Museveni has sworn in, which then gives him, eventually, rights or power as president. When they talk PLU, that is what they mean. It is Museveni coming to present Muhoozi like Simba in The Lion King, saying, Na Sibenya. You know that song. I don't have to go there. So they are going to present Muhoozi. That is what Museveni plans to do. Anyway, with that, these are the plans. Muhoozi is going to cause a lot of pain, atrocities, suffering amongst Ugandans. Okay? He's going to make Ugandans feel like it is unbearable to exist in Uganda because he knows that Ugandans want change. And for 3 months, he's going to maintain the foreign militia that he has brought in the country. He's going to keep them. I already told you the guys who are flying the jet planes, the military airplanes are from Egypt, Angola, and Rwanda. So he's going to keep the militia, the ones who are wearing all those masks, the SFCs, the ones from Rwanda, who are already all over Uganda. All borders have been closed. All borders are securely guarded by foreign military. All those events happening, he's going to maintain them to continue to suppress the locals. There's going to be suppression of citizens. I'm reading the list now. Severe suppression of citizens. Rising costs of all merchandise. I mean, if you thought sugar was expensive, it's going to get worse. Land grabbing. Remember, Museveni has 552 land titles that he doesn't know where they belong. And the people who registered for Ndagamuntu out here are now being matched in the system in Uganda to know which is their land. And obviously that means forget your land, because now it's going to be taken up and taken over by Museveni fairly easily. Remember, the land bill is next on the table coming into parliament. And it's going to be passed by limping Anita Among. Okay, so next on the list. So I said suppression of Uganda. These are the things that Muhoozi is going to do while causing, suppression to Ugandans. And then he's going to come like a savior. The same way his father did in Luwero and in Acholi when he came and killed people at night and then woke up. Anyway, so I was reading the list. So starting up there, suppression. So I was saying, preambly, Muhoozi is going to do like his father did when he came. Because when his father came, remember, he caused Obote to be blamed as a bad president who killed the Baganda. And yet Museveni was the one killing the Baganda. So he came in at night and slaughtered Baganda. In the morning, he came and cried with them. He didn't mind wearing the UPC uniform at night to come and kill people. And then in the morning come in UPDF or whatever that uniform was. They were called RPF or something. Whatever that uniform was, that was at the time Museveni's uniform, they came to cry with the people in the morning. So here are the things that Muhoozi is going to do, like the killings of the Luwero people at the time Museveni was coming in. He's going to suppress citizens severely. There will be rising costs on all merchandise. Land grabbing and demolition of people's property will continue. Killing of all individuals anticipated to be hindrance to Muhoozi, his government. Like in religions, police, religion, I mean, they're targeting Sheikh, I forget his name. There's a video where somebody recorded himself targeting, oh man, I can't believe. There is a sheikh who is young, youthful. He speaks about Museveni, he speaks about Chagulanyi a lot. Sheikh Chiti. There's a video about a video threatening the life of Sheikh Chiti. When I speak about killing of individuals in religions, I mean people like him. They are targeting people like him. There's Father Ochan in Gulu. There are different outspoken religious members or leaders who are on target by this. The police, the people who have worked for the prisons, the people who have worked in the police, those who have been sent to commit atrocities on behalf of these people are going to be eliminated. UPDF, Elwelu, you were used to go and kill people in Kasese. You are on target, and I don't know. Anyway, so people like you, and in political parties, obviously National Unity Platform, because that is Museveni's biggest nightmare, is National Unity Platform. The other category, and other profiled influencers. It doesn't surprise me if some of the Kasukus and all of them, those who are always on media, those who have gotten backhanded information about how to treat this or that, change things around, do what's wrong even if they know what's right, such people will be eliminated. They're going to keep external military that they've imported to finish this mission with their protection. So they're going to protect this foreign militia to do all those things that they wish to do. They are going to use all government bodies to oppress, kill aged Ugandans in hospitals. So agencies like government hospitals, you know, if some elders will go there to get treatment or whatever, they'll do away with them. Kampala is planned to become hard to access, causing fear factors as threats to prevent people from flowing into the city. So Kampala, as I said, they want to make Uganda a federation of Rwanda so that Kampala might become their second destination or second city or whatever they want to do with it. When Muhoozi finishes doing all this using those foreign militia, he's going to come back as a savior. First of all, he'll come on Twitter as if he has been, you know, under anesthesia for all these months. He's going to come back after the outcry from a lot of Ugandans. Muhoozi will emerge with tweets condemning all evils which they have done themselves, okay? These are all orders by Muhoozi to commit, but he's going to come and condemn those actions that he engineered himself and his people. And then he will intervene and put an end to demolition of houses, reduce high costs or prices, fix some roads, reduce corruption. I mean, he's the father of corruption, if anything. When you saw the budget today and a certain amount is allocated to the speaker's office, you know that means essentially Museveni will be taking that money, right? Land grabbing, he's going to apparently reduce that. Demolition of houses. But this is all their evil plans. All those things that are going to happen are plans of the Muhoozi people. Okay? All of the security people are just sad and scared. The people who are working for the government, for Uganda, the people who mean well, they're constantly under fear because they know that Muhoozi will eliminate them. Okay? Why was EDCL bosses terminated? You saw that boss, the gentleman who was terminated, and then they brought this lady, Janet's cousin or somebody like that. Muhoozi had requested that all the money from the UEDCL be given to him because they are preparing for this. As I have a video that I'm going to share about NSSF. I just couldn't do it right now, but getting to this stage, Muhoozi has spent just about every fund in Uganda, whether it be a bank, whether it be NSSF, whether it be UEDCL, Uganda Electricity, I think that's electricity. Every institution that could store finances has been emptied by Muhoozi. So when Muhoozi went to ask this gentleman for the funds, for money, he said no. And because of that, he fired him just like that. So Janet Museveni is not here. He's going to talk about having her and all of this, but it's all a hoax. Janet is no longer here. Okay. So those are my, what I wanted to share today. I wanted to make sure at least I don't miss out or don't have you guys go through tomorrow's scary events without knowing firsthand how it's going to go down. Afoy wuberi video man. Afoy danama aki kitkum pade gulu. Joma aki lao, joma aki alu, joma aki tung Sudan. Afoy worded afoy beri video man. Thank you all for being here. Akele bulok eni waunge kira no romu gwakakere. Nero. Johnny ni kapewa ama lema wakero wa gene kapewa ama lema wa kwero gitatek. Gilbadi wawa. Gilbadi down. So I'm saying if we don't rise up and take charge, these people are trying very, very hard to cause all manner of suppression. Let us all collectively try to do something. It's hard, I understand. But if it's hard now, imagine what it will be in several months. You know, we might have to just put a stop to it. It'll be hard, but something must be done. So I'm trying. This is something I can do from where I'm at. I hope it helps. I hope you have a good day, good night, good evening. Love you, love you.
ensonga z'obufumbo olina omwami naye ng'akutawanya olina omukyala ng'akutawanya bajja ne bakwagalako ne bagenda gwe alina ebizibu mu byenfuna nga sente zikuyita mu ngalo wooteeka sente zifa bufi b'owola tebazza gwe aloota ng'ogwa mu nnyanja gwe alumizibwa omutwe nga guganye okuwona awo aloota ng'ebintu bikozesa ensonga z'obufumbo nina ekifo ku mugga awali amayinja wennyambulirako ebisiraani ekikwa ekifiiriza omudibo obutaganja obutaweebwa nzijanjaba abantu ab'enzikiriza zonna nsiŋŋaanibwa njeru ku lw'ejjinja gwanjagala kuba ku nnamba yange eyo naawe ali ewala ennyo yita ku WhatsApp